live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
So I move those boxes and it sounds echoey now.
It does sound echoey. What are you doing moving things around in here?
Sorry, I had to make room for the rat. The rat's getting really big.
Oh, okay. Well,
and he was upset because his bed was getting. So
well,
yeah.
You know, good sound, pissed off rat.
We don't want a pissed off rat in here.
You don't want a pissed off rat. No,
so
that's true.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's really appropriate for me to bring up the noise that I heard.
There you go. You're eating those chips.
Oh, something to say about crunchy things.
Really?
It relates to the movie we just saw.
Really?
But it was definitely celery.
Celery?
Yes.
Oh, you actually, yes.
It was definitely celery.
Well, there's a lot of celery involved in it.
It had people moving their heads really quick. It was like this celery noise.
Yes. And why is that? I couldn't.
So I don't know if that's a really good place to start.
Okay. Well, we're starting with celery.
Foley work.
Foley work.
This is a Conjuring movie, and it's a prequel to the prequel.
Is it?
Yeah, basically, it's before the.
It's
Annabelle, the Conjuring.
Okay, wait.
I'm confused.
Now, how does this?
It's a prequel to the Conjuring, I guess.
Okay, and the Conjuring was somehow tied into Annabelle.
Right, Annabelle. Yeah.
And
there was Conjuring 2, which I never... that's the only one I didn't see. A priest with a haunted past and a novice on the threshold of her final vows are sent by the Vatican to investigate the death of a young nun in Romania and confront a malevolent force in the form of a demonic nun
dun, dun.
who looked a lot like Marilyn Manson.
She really, really, really did. and I have to say this. Her whole look wasn't scary enough to carry the scare look
they
as far as they did. Well, they showed it too much. And not only did they show it too much, but it just isn't good enough to do anyway. And then at the end, we actually almost got to see the monster sing an entire aria by themselves. It just seemed to go on and on and on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So for me, it was scary when you didn't see the face. You just saw like an outline.
Yeah.
And it was just darkness.
Yeah.
That was scarier.
I have to say this. My favorite sequences were all at the very beginning. I loved him getting buried. I liked all the stuff I liked all the stuff that was out in the graveyard outside.
You didn't like that? There was one I liked part. It was toward the middle to the end, kind of in that area.
Middle to the end, middle,
whatever.
Sort of
second
the middle.
half.
Oh, you mean like the middle to the end?
There's a part where there's a group of people in a room and they kind of get scattered all of a sudden.
Right.
And I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was okay.
But I mean, I just like how that was really violently.
But
all of a sudden,
my best scare out of the whole thing was when the one is hung and then falls back down on him in the graveyard, and then all of a sudden comes up. You know, it was like a double. It was like a good old fashioned double scare. You know,
there was some things I liked that kind of creeped me out. Just because, so almost every room they went into, there was like an outline of something like on the wall,
right? That looked like
the creature that was.
In fact, I think Romania, in general, has scary priests and scary priestesses shadows everywhere.
I think Romania is just creepy in general.
It's sort of a tourist trap thing, you know. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. But it definitely.
Shout out to Vlad, by the way.
What? There were probably 10 Vlads in that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, there were lots. So I really did like the village during the day at the very beginning. It was like the layers of hand built junk. Yeah, or not junk, but houses.
Right. Oh yeah.
Were excellent. I mean, just you can't go out and make that kind of just pure dilapidation.
Right.
It takes European ages, not just our ages, European ages in order to do that.
Right.
And it was just such a great look. And I also noticed that I couldn't put my thumb on a time for when this was all happening, which is
which they said 1952, but
yeah.
But Frenchie mentioned the fact that you're in Romania now. You're in the Dark Ages.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
So I like the first opening before the credit, the nun, the title.
Yeah.
Came up. I like that whole opening was awesome.
Right.
So I was like, oh, this might have promise. And then I was like, the first half of the movie, I was like, okay, this is cool. And then toward the end, it kind of got just really bizarre. Like, too bizarre.
Yeah.
They're trying to do too much.
There wasn't... I don't know.
There's some cool things about it, though.
There was some... you're right. There were some cool things about it. I didn't get a feel like it ever sucked me in. I mean, there was none of that. A great horror story or a great a ghost story. Completely sucks you in. And I thought that the kidding between the girl and and Frenchie, it was cute. And
like the little flashbacks. Oh no, the flirting you're talking about.
The flirting and stuff between the two of them was a little bit. I know how to put this. It didn't decide what it wanted to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't a super dark horror story, and it wasn't a cute romance. It's somehow bridled both of them with a really scary nurse in the background.
Right.
So there you go.
And
they completely stole a shot from The Exorcist 3.
Well, they stole a lot of shots from other things.
They did.
I know I've seen somebody walking through a bunch of still people,
Oh, yeah. Well,
I did like the little twist with the heads moving though, like.
Yeah, kind of.
But I thought she was awesome. Tysa Farming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, she was very good.
She played Irene, Sister Irene.
Yeah,
I thought she was great, actually. For what she was. She was weak. She played a really weak part. Then she kind of got a little stronger toward the end, which is what you like to see.
I liked the combination of her and Frenchie together.
Yeah.
I mean, it was...
The priest was kind of weak character.
Yeah, he was kind of a little bit out of it. But
well, he was literally out of it for a while.
Yeah.
While everything was happening. I mean, no, really. Actually, more than once. He was somewhere trapped while something was happening.
Right. They always seemed to separate him out for some reason.
Yeah.
I
think they didn't show the nun. I'd like this a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Especially toward the end, I'm like, really? Like, how many times are they going to show Marilyn Manson?
I think that they had this amazing location.
So Jennifer Spence, did she do a good job? She was the production designer.
She did. I thought there was only one thing that I had a huge quibble with, is the writing on the door, the one door. It looked like a fairly modern free. I mean, in this amazing aged, naturally aged, and you could tell that they made some modification, but they were like working with plaster, they were working with areas that looked like that, right? And they put in this door, and then the writing on that door was kind of it wasn't the right. I hate to say this it wasn't the right font. And it looked like brand new, and like they were bragging about themselves. And here's the problem: an art department can't put it out there and brag about it.
Right.
That's it's our job to be in the background.
What about the story? The story was kind of
very straightforward.
Yeah. Well, I thought the whole thing was straightforward, and a lot of stuff was borrowed from other movies. So it was kind of.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to say derivative, because I mean, you know what I mean. There were some parts where
was there enough fog for you?
I'm thinking of certain things. Well, there was a lot of smoke.
There was a lot of smoke.
So why would they use smoke instead of using like a fog machine or something? Is it easier to control, or?
Well, most of the smoke that they were using was you're talking about is outdoors, and that's an Ajiba fogger that does that. And there's only a couple of ways to actually get smoke outside, because you have to get large areas, and usually they're using a Jeeba, which is a commercial grade large fogger for like eradicating pests in corn and stuff like that. The other way is to use smoke bombs. I mean, like, you can get World War II smoke bombs still.
Those probably sting, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I would imagine.
They do, but there's lots of them that are made for doing military exercises and stuff like that. That are not totally obnoxious. And I've used both the Jeeba. It was probably an Jeeba that did it. That's a lot of smoke though, and it's very hard to maintain and.
Well, then, of course, the inside in the hallways, you have awesome fog.
Right, but that's usually, but that was like a little bit more obvious. Well, not dry. There was dry ice. There was dry ice, and the difference is dry ice always sits low. Mm-hmm. When we first see the inside of it, it was dry ice. Remember when it was low? Yeah. Well, that's the dry ice.
Okay.
If you're talking about cracked oil foggers, that's the stuff that you saw in the air up there. There's, you can sit and talk about smoke forever.
Yeah,
I
thought some of it was digital at some point because it just looks so fake. There were a couple little spots I saw.
It was just overdone.
It
was just overdone. It wasn't fake. It was just bad.
It's because it was just the way it was moving.
No, it was really saucy. Yeah. See, the thing is what you normally do is you normally put smoke up and then you break it up. But I have been through the holy history of using smokes, all the way from using types of salts inside of small cookers to like get a particular type of smoke that refracts light differently, which just poisons everybody around you, but it looks so good, you suck it up. And I mean literally you suck it up. To hand foggers, the old mole foggers, there's Ole Bantam, which is like bee foggers. There's ways to use it. Yeah, literally the Ole Bantam. They would use when they put pipes together with lead. There was a device that they used. You would put in this wool that would be shredded, and that shredded wool you would pack into the pipe. Right, because they weren't threaded together. These are sewer pipes, and you'd put that wool in there, and then you'd put in a bunch of cotton. Yeah, you'd put in a bunch of cotton bunting first, and then you put in wool, and then you'd put in Ole Bantam, which was this like tar-based wool, and then you would ignite it, and it would burn, and it would melt the lead. The lead wool would melt, and then it would make a seal. Wow. And they used to use that for smoke on Nightmare on Elm Street 3. That's the kind of smoke that we use, burning that. And you would go home at the end of the day and just cough. You would cough and be black. and you'd be coughing, and the thing is, after a week of that, especially if you were on set for really long hours, as moi was, your entire, it wouldn't start to clear up as you were coughing it out until the end of the weekend. What between that smoke and all the Krylon that I have inhaled, the different color, and the asbestos, as we have talked about, right. The asbestos and everything else that I've inhaled off of sets. When I die, my cross section is going to be very colorful.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry, didn't mean to go. Okay, once again. We have gone down a rabbit hole.
That was a fun rabbit hole.
Okay.
But I think we hit a dead end.
Yeah, I think we hit a dead end. So
I thought it was pretty. this movie was pretty. I think. I mean,
I thought
the inside. I like the inside shots.
Yeah,
like I like the one
shots.
with the crosses through the hallway where she gets like where it kind of spins around for.
That's right.
That was a cool scene.
I liked it too. Yeah.
But I liked how the crosses were moving and she was grabbing onto them, and it was.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like it was inspired by Repulsion or something. I think it's because
she was interacting with the set.
Yes, that's right. She was interacting with the set.
Of that in horror movies.
Who do you know that has told you?
I don't know
how important interacting with the set is. Yes,
some crazy man.
Yeah, some crazy, but yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess I like the production design. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Jennifer did a good job.
I actually did.
Jennifer.
I would give her a thumbs up too. And I also, you know what I liked? I kind of liked the gate.
Yeah.
You know, the gate was not. It wasn't. I mean, it got optical at the end, which is probably a little bit. It was a little bit wonky on the optical, but the idea that it was just this broken up place in the floor was so much better than.
I like that.
It was so much.
It wasn't too elaborate.
It wasn't too elaborate. Yeah,
it was just a circle with like cracks in it.
Exactly, and it had a sense of like it could be so worn and so old and worn and horrible, but it still has its power, you know. And yeah, there was something about that I really liked. You know, it was, and it wasn't even. You know, it just kind of broke up, and when the blood ran into it, it was really well done. I liked it.
I agree.
I can't believe it. You know what I'm here? I'm sitting here talking myself into liking this film a lot better than I couldn't decide when I walked out of the theater. I was having a little bit of a. I really like the girl. See, now that I've
spotty
lined up all the things, it was spotty.
So it's like there's certain things I really liked. Like I really liked the beginning, and then I kind of lost interest for a while. And then there's a really cool scene. Oh, that was a cool scene. And then there's a good scene over here, but that one's kind of boring.
But it kind of ended well. Yeah. You know, one thing I have to say is it ended well. I mean, it.
Well, I like how they kind of quickly tied it into the Conjuring.
Right. Well, you know, I understood tying it together with Conjuring, but it ended. You know, it had a resolution, and an awful lot of horror films.
And
it had that little nod at the end to the future. But one thing I really didn't like was the cross turning upside down on the wall. That was terrible.
I just see a little person behind there going, ee?
Yeah, you could literally see. You could literally see that they were having a little bit of trouble with it. It wasn't doing smooth and stuff. So I don't think that I would have. I
would have liked it more if it wasn't smooth. If it was more like jerky. Because like they're trying to be too smooth with it.
I would have liked it if they made it larger.
What if it just snapped upside down like
exactly? What I would have liked? I would have liked if they had made it larger, and that you caught it on a wipe. In other words, somebody walks by and it's large enough to make its presence known, and as they wipe across it, it's now turned upside down.
Well, you do that with people like appearing behind other people, so
right. But I mean, I'm just saying is that would have been a better device than the 3 times they actually were turning it upside down, and the last one.
The last one was
pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. Yeah. It's like you say, you could literally see, you know, a guy was behind it with a ladder on a ladder. It was terrible. You know, the thing about all the effects and the thing about is that sort of stuff in our department, and is you have to look at it. You have to look at it. You can't say, well, this is how we're going to do it, and then do it that way, and say, well, we got it done. It turned up right.
Check it off.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is that's one of those things where it could have done so much more. You know, it should have done so much more because it was kind of a big deal in the film. It's just that they didn't do it well.
Yeah.
So anyway, now that I've talked myself into like almost loving this freaking film, which I don't understand at all. I don't know how I did that.
Well, you were just trying to talk yourself out of liking it just now, but I think you're back.
I think I'm back. You know, I wanted it to feel deep down and scary.
I think part of it is I was really looking forward to this one because I like The Conjuring and the way it ended. I knew this was coming up.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of anticipating it, and I'm like,
I'm going to have to give it a 3.2.
See, I was going to say just straight on 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I probably we're about the same.
No, wait.
But 3. I'm going to give it 3.
I worked my way up. I talked myself
when
out
I
of
was at the theater. I was thinking 2.5.
Yeah, I think that I talked myself out of a 2.9.
I was thinking around 2.5, but then I was thinking about certain scenes I really liked. And, and I liked the main actress; she was awesome. And then I liked the whole inside all the scenes.
I like the actress and the main actor guy.
And the castle was kind of cool because you had like.
Well, that was definitely cool.
I mean, it was. You had I like how they trapped people in certain areas and like led them. They moved things along.
Yeah, they did. I just.
But I'm still at 3.
Think that a little bit more direction would have helped. So
I've never heard of the director. Maybe that's. I mean, I've never heard of him. Corin Hardy.
What has he done before?
That's what I'm asking.
The Hollow.
So yeah, he's a relatively new guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe there's a learning curve. Like James Wan is involved with this too. He was one of the people that wrote the story.
Yeah, there you go.
But I've seen James Wan's name before.
Well,
he's hit or miss with us.
Yeah,
we either like his stuff or we don't like it.
We've been on both sides there.
So I mean, we might see more from this guy. I haven't seen The Hollow. It looks interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Yep.
So is that enough of this?
I think so.
Listen. I just wanted to mention
a book
of the things that I've been working on.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to ask you because you were busy.
Yeah, I was busy. I was busy. I was playing with a bunch of.
And you survived.
Yeah.
Because I saw a picture, I was like, that might be his last
photo. We were filming Vengeance, Friday the 13th. Which is a fan film.
Yeah.
It looks like they might be able to get some heavy hitters.
That's cool.
In for it.
Well, I might have seen. I don't want to say that I've seen any photos related to this, but I might have seen a couple of photos.
You might have.
And I really liked what I saw. Yeah. So I want to see this movie now.
I was out trying to do my best to annoy the rest of the film crew, right. and I mean. I can't say how annoyed they were, but I think they were pretty annoyed with me.
Did you talk about Freddy Krueger? Is that what happened?
Oh, I just, what I do is I picked stories about my childhood when I was 7, and I did just that year. Just the year that I was 7. I had a lot of really good Tonka stuff, a lot of sandpile Tonka, and climbing trees, and that's all I did. And I did it constantly for 3 days, right in their faces. And I think by the end, everybody hated my guts.
Nice.
And mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. No, had a great time. Just really, really got Jason Brooks, who's one of the producers, and he plays that guy, Jason.
Yeah,
Jason. and Jeremy Brown from Brown Space Films. These guys and Dustin, the cinematographer, they've got a pretty strong trio there.
Nice.
And
we need to have somebody on our show someday.
Yes, we will grab them in at some point. And at the same time, I'm also, selling my book.
Yes.
Behind the Screams.
Is it still selling, or have people been returning them?
Yeah. Well, the thing is I think we're up 20% from ahead of the returns.
Nice.
So yeah, it's
always good to be ahead of the returns.
You can order that book at Behind the Screams book.com. So
yes.
And I'm going to be going to a film festival, horror film festival this weekend because a Rolling Stone gathers no Mick.
Yes. I'm hoping we get some teasers from the show. Maybe I'm trying to get Mick to use some technology.
Oh, you want me? Yeah. I'll record. Or we
can have a conversation at some point, and maybe it'll just show up somewhere. Who knows?
But I got to tell you something. Just the break from like shipping books and stuff is like a nice. It's not pleasant. I don't like doing that at all.
You need to hire some lackey to do it for you. Like,
I'm telling you, it's the
$1
worst.
a book.
It's the worst. Ugh. So,
$1 a book, and if you do the job right, I'll give you a piece of coal. I don't know. I was trying to channel the Scrooge. It didn't really work.
There you go. I don't think that worked. Piece of coal. Oh, so you meant coal. Arr. As a pirate. Yeah, I'd love to hire some pirates to come in and just selling books for me. That'd be great. Be awesome. So what do we have to say about this film? Arr.
None of your business. All right, anyway.